Hi, I'm sitting very close today. This is a very important session. We're going to look at a very useful, special technique. Now that we're breathing slowly and trying to breathe more and more slowly, we need to find a way to do that. And a lot of people struggle, they feel like the breath is rushing. So, one of the things we need to understand is to stop sucking the breath like that, that's sucking it in. We don't want to create that type of suction. Literally, you're sucking the air in and it affects the air pressure, it tightens it and pulls it. So that's not a good way to breathe, and you will never be able to breathe slowly like that. Not really slowly. So stop doing that, stop sucking the breath. If you can't hear it, is probably a good sign that you've stopped sucking. Also, we're not pulling the breath. It's not like a rope that you're pulling in, and we're not pushing the breath, so don't push it out. If you pull or push or suck the air, you will have less time with the breath. So we want to find a way to get more time. And as we get more time, we're going to have a different understanding, a different feeling. So, how do we do it? Now there's a special technique called Ujjayi breath. U-J-J-A-Y-I. Ujjayi. And once you start using this with the slow breathing, you'll find that you get a lot more time and that your numbers will go up significantly. Now, how do we do this? Well, it's quite tricky. And that's why I'm sitting so close to you, because there's a sound to it. And I'm going to get really close and try to get you a feeling for that sound. And hopefully you will hear it and be able to try it and start to explore it yourself and learn about it. So this is the only video that I'm going to explain this technique, and from then on I'm going to be referring to it saying, now you should be doing Ujjayi breath. In fact, with all the slow breathing, that's not true. With almost all of the slow breathing, or at least for the first few years, you can use Ujjayi breath. Okay, now what you do, there's a part of your throat called the epiglottis, and what you do is you contract it. Simple, right? The best way to understand this is to follow the sound. So what I'm doing is I'm contracting in my throat, the muscles of my throat, and what happens is you've got a tunnel, the air flows through the tunnel, and what you do is you squeeze very slightly. Now, a lot of people in the West overdo this breath, and I really urge you not to do that. So we're not squeezing tightly. As always, with Raja Yoga, we do things in the most delicate, most soft way. So anyway, regardless, we are slightly squeezing onto the breath as it flows through the tunnel of the throat. And that allows you to hold it or carry the breath instead of it just rushing through. All right, this is the sound. Okay, so I would describe it as it's a bit like a coffee machine. Now I'll come even closer, so maybe you can get a better idea of it. Now I'm pushing this. I don't want you to do that normally. I'm just trying to make it really loud so you can hear it. You should hear me pushing. Okay, now that is an exaggerated way to do it, and that is much too forceful, but hopefully you get an idea of the sound. So try it yourself now. Close your eyes Try to do it very gently first of all. We want to breathe, do slow deep breathing from the bottom to the top, from the top to the bottom, slowly. And this will give you time to lengthen the breath and explore the slowness of it by contracting gently in the throat. So just go up and down, and see if this gives you much more time with the breath. And you may find in the beginning it's a little bit bumpy as it's trying to get through the throat because your grip is not smooth, it's not delicate, it's inconsistent. And so you're grabbing with some muscles and missing with others. Just try it. So I'm going to do it quite loud, unnaturally loud, so that you can possibly hear it and follow it, but actually we want it to be as quiet as possible. You can hear it's there, but you can barely hear it. But maybe in the beginning, you need to just do a louder, stronger version. You've got to do it all the way to the top, all the way to the bottom, and especially down towards the bottom. This could give you twice the duration that you've been normally getting, and that is very advantageous. Actually, it can end up giving you 3, 4, 5 times the duration. Keep going. Just keep trying to draw this string steadily, evenly. And really what you're doing is you're carrying or supporting the breath. You're holding it the whole way, all the way to the top and all the way down. And slow is good, but don't worry if you're not too slow. Just get a sense of holding and carrying. And so it shouldn't slip or, suddenly you shouldn't lose the rope. You need to keep the hold of it. It's very steady. So we're not focusing in the nostril area now. We're focusing in the throat, which is pretty much in the middle, the point between the nose and the stomach. That's a very handy spot to get a feeling for the breath. Just do a couple more rounds. And don't be put off if you're struggling with it. This is just the start of something perhaps for you, and you're learning. And if you practice, come back to it tomorrow, come back to it later today, or every day you do it for a few days, you'll start to get it, hopefully. Last round. When you're finished, open the mouth, have a deep sigh, and just relax and study the throat area. You've been tightening some muscles there that you may not have been used to tightening. Any information we can get here is helpful. So there might be a little bit of heat there, or even irritation. And if you did it too strongly, which is always ill-advised, you might have inflamed. You could get a dry throat, and that will be a good sign that you overdid it. See, we don't worry about these things, we recognize the causes of them. All right. Okay, so that's a very important technique to learn, and if you can start utilizing it in your slow breathing, this will open up a huge world of possibilities for you. So I recommend that you redo this session probably 3 times and keep referring to the sound that I've been trying to show you. Hopefully you can hear that clearly, and keep exploring it, but then look to do it as quietly as possible. Once you know you've got it, do it in the most soft and delicate and quiet way. So you are barely using it. That's the key. Okay. Thank you very much. Take care.